So breaking news has just emerged that Jesse Lingard has signed a one-year contract with newly promoted Nottingham Forest for around £200,000 a week. We're going to be discussing in this video whether it is a great signing or is it a flop. Let us know in the comment section below before we get into this video, and please do smash the like button and do subscribe. We're pushing in for 2,500 subscribers. It would mean the world if you could. It would honestly help so much. But where do I start? I think the big narrative with this whole transfer is the £200,000 a week. No one knows. It's not actually been confirmed yet, but I think we need to push that aside when we start this discussion. Let's now discuss Jesse Lingard in the Nottingham Forest side. Nottingham Forest last season were a force to be reckoned with. When Steve Cooper came in around January time, they were a serious side. They came in when they were around the relegation zone, and they literally, the sky was the limit with them. The form is sensational when you look at it as a whole. A really, really good season. And the most pivotal player in that season, I personally believe, was the number 10 player, Morgan Gibbs-White, who was signed on loan from Wolverhampton Wanderers, and he was integral to everything that was good. He played in behind, two up top. Brennan Johnson worked so well with him. And they thought, okay, we need to replace him because Morgan Gibbs-White, they're asking for a serious fee. So they've gone in for a player who I think is personally doesn't just fill Morgan Gibbs-White's boots, improves it. We're talking about a player who played in the World Cup for England, an England international, played for Manchester United. This guy has won trophies. This guy is a winner. And not only that, he's got Premier League experience. When you look at this Nottingham Forest side, there's no experience really. There's a few players who've got brief Premier League experience. You look at your Jack Colbacks, you look at your Steve Cooks, you look at Dean Henderson who's just come in, but even then he hasn't got the experience you need. Jesse Lingard is probably one of the players, one of the older figures that they look to. I think another thing when we discuss this, he's 29 years of age, a serious player who's played a lot of games now in the Premier League, a player who's got 32 appearances for England. And I understand this whole narrative pushing with the £200,000 a week, but I personally believe he will really, really suit the system well. They play really nice football throughout the Championship's time. Steve Cooper, you've seen he's won the most recent England trophy when he won the trophy with the England youth setup. He plays really nice passing football through the thirds, and that number 10 is usually the most important player on that pitch. They operate in that final third, and they operate from side to side. And Jesse Lingard can't get a free role where he can do what he wants, express himself, and he's a player who we know can really perform. And a lot of people say, okay, we haven't really ever seen the best of him. Well, when he was at West Ham, 9 goals in 16 games. That in itself is amazing. West Ham tried to go out and get him and they couldn't do it. And a lot of people are saying, oh well, he's gone to Nottingham Forest for the money. But as I keep saying, we need to push this money aside, because with no other signing do we ever talk about the amount they're earning a week. I don't understand this narrative, and people discussing about his TikToks and his social media. We need to look at him as a footballer, because it is 2022. A lot of players have social medias and things like that. We look at that. Jesse Lingard as a footballer is a Premier League player, a very, very good player, a player who has shone. You do not play 150 games for Manchester United if you're a poor player. Let's be honest. He's a good player, and he will only improve Nottingham Forest, and I'm really excited to see how well he does. And you're seeing Everton fans, a YouTuber I do really love his content, Kieran Rantz, discussed about how he wouldn't have wanted him because of the money. But I personally don't get this. I think we need to push aside the money, because he's a free agent at the end of the day. They're not paying an actual transfer fee. Yes, there'll be a signing fee, but altogether wages potentially could be up to around 10 million. When you think for a season, for a player who's played for England, an international, played tournaments, that's a really good signing. I just don't understand. It's kind of gone, this has really taken the media, and it's on the front pages everywhere about how the money involved and about how it's going to be a flop. And I personally think it's a good signing. When we step back, in any other situation, if you said to a newly promoted side, you're going to get an international who's played 150 games for the biggest club on the planet, would you like him for a year? Of course you're going to say yes, of course. And at the end of the day, it's only 1 year. So if it's Nottingham Forest, if it doesn't go well and they get relegated, they're not tied down to him. They can get rid, and he will move elsewhere, whether he goes to America or Qatar and things like that. And then we can discuss the financial side of it now. And I get, as I said, the £200,000 which has been reported, but there are some reports coming around that it's about 125,000. So really, we know it's over 100,000. He'll be the highest paid player at the club. But then there's a discussion. I saw Jamie O'Hara talk on TalkSport about how the fact that if you got to pay a player who's getting paid that amount of money, what's that going to do to the dressing room? But then at the end of the day, the players need to understand you've got players here in this Nottingham Forest side who've never been in the Premier League before, and majority of them, most Championship sides, when they get promoted, they either double their wages, there'll be some kind of increase or bonus and things like that. How on earth do they think they can compete with Jesse Lingard? I don't get it personally. I think it's a really good signing. I'm really excited to see what Nottingham Forest do. It's a very big Premier. They're a big Premier League side. spot they deserved to be in this league. They've pushed forward. They're taking risks, because when you look at the sides, when you look at Norwich, we question Norwich. This is another way I'd like to spin it. We question Norwich and clubs like that about how they don't spend money, they don't take risks. Then Nottingham Forest take a risk. They get a player, a serious, well-renowned international, and then we question and say it's a poor signing. What do people want? I think it's a good signing, but let me know in the comment section below. I think he'll get 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 contributions. That's a good season in a struggling Nottingham Forest side, because let's be honest, they're not going to set the world alight. We've got to be realistic with this. They're going to be in a relegation battle, and when you compare it to Everton and the other Leeds and signings like that, he's better than Dele Alli. He's better than players in the Leeds side. He's a very, very good player, and it's an extremely good signing. There's no one... Bournemouth haven't got a player like this. Fulham haven't got a player like this. Southampton haven't got a player like this. It's a good signing, but let me know in the comment section below. Do you think Jesse Lingard is a good signing? Personally, I do, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have Nottingham Forest take a risk that they didn't need to? Let me know. And please do smash the like button and do subscribe. But BucketHatSam over and out. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.